You do everything you're supposed to do. You got the good job, you're earning a great salary, let's say $90,000 a year. You drive a nice car, you live in a decent apartment. But when it comes to the biggest financial goal for many, buying a home, you feel completely stuck, priced out, left behind. Meanwhile, your friend who makes almost half of what you do, around $50,000 a year, just posted a picture on Instagram. It's him, smiling, holding a set of keys in front of his very own new house. You stare at the picture, you look at your own finances, and only one question comes to mind. How is that possible? What does he know that I don't? Today, we're not just going to ask that question. We're going to answer it. We are going to solve this financial mystery, and in the process, we'll uncover the hidden system that can make home ownership possible, even on a modest income. This isn't a story about getting lucky. It's a story about a system and learning how to make that system work for you. To solve this mystery, we need two characters. Let's call our high earning renter Alex and our modest income homeowner Mark. On the surface, Alex is the picture of success, earning $90,000 a year. His gross monthly income is $7,500. He lives in a nice high rise apartment with a city view, paying about $2,500 a month in rent. He's a professional, he looks the part, and he drives the part. And this is where our investigation begins: his car. Alex drives a new BMW. It's sleek, it's impressive, and it costs him a fortune. Now, this is just an illustrative example, but it's a common one. Let's imagine his car payment is around $800 a month. Add another $200 for full coverage insurance, and about $150 a month for premium fuel. When you add it all up, Alex is spending $1,150 every single month on a depreciating asset. That's money that is literally vanishing, all for the sake of an image. Alex is playing the game of look rich. But as we're about to find out, the game of look rich is often a fast track to staying poor. The core of Alex's problem is a concept called lifestyle inflation. Think about it. When Alex first started his career, he was probably earning something closer to $50,000. He lived with a roommate, drove a used car, and was careful with his money. But then he got a promotion, and another. With every single pay raise, his spending rose to meet his new income. The bigger paycheck didn't go into savings or investments, it went into a bigger apartment, a fancier car, more expensive dinners, and trendier clothes. His income line went up, but his spending line went up right alongside it. He never created a gap between what he earned and what he spent. That gap, that's where wealth is built. Alex has no gap, so while he feels successful because his monthly cash flow is high, his net worth is stagnant. He's running on a financial hamster wheel and doesn't even know it. Now let's look at how a bank sees Alex. This is where the mystery really starts to unravel. When you apply for a mortgage, the bank doesn't just look at your salary. They look at something far more important: your debt to income ratio, or DTI. This is the silent deal killer. Your DTI is a simple percentage that shows how much of your monthly gross income is already spoken for by debt. Lenders look at two kinds of DTI: a front end ratio, just your future housing costs, and a back end ratio, housing costs plus all your other monthly debt. That back end number is the one that really matters. Let's run the numbers for Alex. His gross monthly income is $7,500. His monthly debts are that $1,150 for the car, let's say another $500 in student loans, and a minimum credit card payment of $150. That's $1,800 a month in existing debt. If Alex wanted to buy a home with a mortgage payment of, say, $2,500 a month, his total monthly debt would be $1,800 plus $2,500, which is $4,300. Now for the DT. By calculation, $4,300 in debt divided by his $7,500 in income gives us a DT of 57%. The old rule of thumb used to be the 28-36 rule, keeping total debts under 36%. Today, automated underwriting is more flexible, but a 57% DTI is in the stratosphere. FHA guidelines generally cap the total DTI at 43%, though it can be pushed higher with strong compensating factors like a high credit score or large cash reserves. But even then, approvals past 50% are the exception, not the rule. A 57% DTI makes him a very high-risk applicant. Many lenders will see that number and either deny the loan outright or offer him a terrible interest rate. His high income is being suffocated by his high debt. His salary says $90,000, but his decisions say he's broke. Now, let's turn our attention to Mark, the man of the hour. He earns $50,000 a year, which is about $4,167 a month before taxes. He drives an older, reliable sedan that's been paid off for years. He lives in a simple, no-frills apartment. He doesn't have the latest gadgets. He packs his lunch for work, and his idea of a night out is grilling in the backyard, not a $200 dinner downtown. Mark isn't playing the game of look rich. He's playing the much quieter, much more powerful game of build wealth. His secret isn't sexy. It's discipline. It's a concept that feels almost old-fashioned today. Delayed gratification. Where Alex's income and spending rose together, Mark made a different choice. As he got small raises over the years, his income crept up, but his spending stayed stubbornly flat. He decided to live like he was still earning $30,000 a year. The difference, that gap between what he earned and what he spent, didn't just disappear. It went into one place, a dedicated high-yield savings account labeled House Fund. For 5 years, while Alex was upgrading his car and apartment, Mark was methodically, almost boringly, saving. He wasn't saving what was left at the end of the month. He was saving first and living off the rest. It wasn't a huge amount each month, maybe a few $100s here and there, but over time it added up. Now, let's look at Mark's debt-to-income ratio. This is where his modest salary starts to look like a superpower. His monthly gross income is $4,167. His car is paid off. Zero. He aggressively paid down his student loans. Zero. He uses a credit card but pays it in full every month. Zero. His recurring monthly debt is nothing. Mark's salary is clean. A lender sees a blank slate, but let's say Mark was looking at that same house with a $2,500 monthly payment. With zero other debt, his DTI would be $2,500 divided by $4,167. That's a DTI of 60%. Wait a minute, you say. That's even higher than Alex's. How could he possibly get approved? And the answer is, he couldn't. Not like this. A 60% DTI is a non-starter. A lender would take one look at that and show him the door. This is where we uncover the second part of Mark's secret. He wasn't just smarter with his spending, he was smarter about the house he chose to buy. He didn't just buy a liability, he bought an asset that would pay him back. This is where we enter the world of a hidden system designed to help people exactly like Mark. We're about to get into the exact strategies and loan programs that can turn a modest salary into a home buying machine. This is the stuff they don't teach you in school. If you're finding this helpful and want more breakdowns of complex financial topics, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it ensures you won't miss our next deep dive. Okay, back to solving the mystery. So, how did Mark, on a $50,000 salary, afford a home when the numbers didn't seem to work? He didn't break the rules of finance. He just used a different set of rules that Alex didn't even know existed. He used a three-pronged strategy: the right loan, the right assistance, and the right asset. First, the right loan. Alex was stuck in the mindset that you need a 20% down payment. For a $300,000 home, that's an intimidating $60,000. Mark knew this was a myth. He used a government-backed loan program called an FHA loan. FHA loans are insured by the Federal Housing Administration and are designed to help first-time moderate-income homebuyers. Their most famous feature is the low-down payment. With a credit score of 580 or higher, you can get an FHA loan with as little as 3.5% down. On that $300,000 house, that's just $10,500, not $60,000. That's a number Mark could actually save for. But there's a critical trade-off. In exchange for that low down payment, the FHA requires you to pay for mortgage insurance premium, or MIP. This comes in two parts: an upfront premium rolled into the loan and an annual premium paid monthly. Under current rules, for borrowers who put down less than 10%, this monthly insurance payment lasts for the entire life of the loan. It's different from the private mortgage insurance, PMI, on conventional loans, which you can cancel once you hit 20% equity. For Mark, it was a trade he was willing to make to get his foot in the door. Second, the right assistance. Even with a lower down payment, there are still closing costs. Mark didn't have that lying around, so he researched down payment assistance programs, or DPAs. This is a vastly underutilized part of the system. It's a patchwork of thousands of programs across the country run by state, county, and city governments, as well as non-profits. They come in many forms: grants that don't need to be repaid, zero interest loans that are forgiven after you live in the home for a few years, and low interest loans you pay back over time. Now, these programs aren't a magic wand. Their funding and eligibility rules vary dramatically by location and can change often. Mark was fortunate. He found a local program that offered a forgivable loan for his closing costs after he took a homebuyer class. You have to become a local detective, but the help is out there. Third, and this is the masterstroke, the right asset. Mark didn't buy a single family home. He bought a duplex. This strategy is called house hacking. He lives in one unit and rents out the other. This single decision completely changed his financial picture. Let's say the home costs $300,000 and the market rent for the second unit is $1,400 a month. You might be thinking, a lender would never count that rental income for someone who's never been a landlord. But that's another misconception. Lenders can and do use a portion of projected rental income to help a buyer qualify for a loan on a multi-unit property. The process is complex and requires a special appraisal, but they will typically count 75% of the projected rent to account for potential vacancies. In Mark's case, the bank could count 75% of that $1,400, which is $1,050, as part of his qualifying income. Let's run Mark's DTI again. His income isn't just his $4,167 salary. For the bank's purposes, it's $4,167 plus that $1,050 in rental income for a total of $5,217 per month. Now let's say the total mortgage payment on this duplex, including taxes, insurance, and that FHA mortgage insurance, is $2,800. What's his DTI now? It's $2,800 divided by his qualifying income of $5,217. $17. That gives him a DTI of 53.6%. That is a number an FHA underwriter can absolutely work with, especially with his strong compensating factors like zero other debt. The mystery is solved, but house hacking is not passive income, it's a part-time job. You become a landlord overnight. You have to find tenants, deal with repairs, and if that second unit sits empty, you're on the hook for the entire mortgage. It takes work, but for Mark, it was the key that unlocked the door. Let's put Alex and Mark side by side one last time. Alex earns $90,000 a year, but after his $1,150 car payment, his $2,500 rent, and other lifestyle spending, he has almost nothing left for a down payment. His high debt gives him a risky DTI, making lenders wary. He's trapped by his own success, working to maintain a lifestyle that keeps him from building wealth. Mark earns $50,000 a year, but he lives like he earns $30,000. He saved for years. He chose a smart asset, a duplex that generates income. He used an FHA loan to get in with a low down payment and found a DPA program to help with closing costs. The rental income not only helped him qualify for the loan, but it also covers a huge chunk of his mortgage payment. He's not just living in his home is helping to pay for itself. Through a combination of that FHA loan and a local DPA grant, Mark's total cash needed to get the keys was dramatically reduced. It wasn't free. He still had to pay for inspections, the appraisal, and have some money in reserves, but it was a manageable amount that he had diligently saved, not the impossible $60,000 figure that Alex had stuck in his head. Imagine the day Alex finally goes to visit Mark's new place. He pulls up in his shiny BMW, expecting to see a new build mansion. Instead, he sees a modest, well-kept duplex in a quiet neighborhood. Mark's old, reliable sedan is parked in the driveway. He walks inside and it's normal. The furniture is simple, not designer. There's no giant flat-screen TV. It's clean. It's comfortable. It's home. Mark is in the kitchen, making a pot of coffee. And in that moment, the entire financial mystery resolves itself in Alex's mind. Mark didn't get lucky. He wasn't handed a secret fortune. He simply made 1,000 small, disciplined, boring decisions that Alex didn't. He chose a reliable car over a luxury one. He chose to save instead of spend. He chose to research loan programs instead of assuming he was priced out. He chose to buy an asset that works for him, not just a place to live. Alex looks at his own car keys, the ones connected to an $800 monthly payment. He realizes he has been working for his car. Mark was working for his home. We are taught to believe that wealth is a number on a paycheck. We think that if we just earn more, we will eventually be rich. But the story of Alex proves that a high salary can be a golden cage, a trap that encourages a lifestyle that keeps you from ever building real wealth. And the story of Mark proves that a modest salary, when managed with purpose and strategy, can become a powerful foundation. The secret to Mark's success wasn't a magic loan or a hidden bonus. The secret was, and always is, decisions. It's the decision to drive a 5-year-old car so you can save an extra $1,000 a month. It's the decision to live in a smaller apartment for a few more years to build up a down payment. It's the decision to spend your weekends researching first-time homebuyer programs instead of brunching. It's the decision to buy a duplex that looks like a lot of work instead of a condo that looks cool on Instagram. Income determines how much money flows into your life, but your decisions determine how much of that money you actually get to keep. The car, the clothes, the fancy dinners, that's the look rich game. The high yield savings account, the paid off credit card, the duplex, that's the build wealth game. Mark didn't buy a house because he earned $50,000 a year. He bought a house because he decided to live like he earned $30,000 a year. And that is the only secret that matters.